Tomy has been doing a great job with their Sonic line. They made great figures such as Zavik and Infinite, as well as some great looking plushes. While Tomy Sonic has most likely been on a year hiatus, it is no doubt a great line to Sonic's true comeback. But now let's talk about Jazwares Sonic. What a messy line. While not one of Jazwares' worst toy lines, a lot of these figures haven't aged well and are a shadow to its former resource self. I am surprised and insulted that people actually want to give the Sonic license back to Jazwares. Hello everybody, this is Lane, and today here are some reasons why Jazwares shouldn't and never should they ever get the Sonic license back. One thing that you have to have when it comes to making action figures is putting articulation in them. Most Sonic figures usually have around 5 to 9 points of articulation, and looking at the Jazwares Sonic figures, whether it's 3 inches or 5 inches, I think I know why most companies don't put a lot of articulation on their Sonic toys. Look, most Sonic figures have skinny limbs, and they just don't translate well into posable, articulated form. You lose something when they have elbow and knee joints. Of course, there are some great posable Sonic figures like Tomy's Ultimate Classic Sonic figure, as well as the 10-inch Sonic from Jazwares. One thing I have to mention, and it's pretty common with toy lines nowadays, they have really crappy paint jobs. While a bunch of figures have great paint jobs, there's always bound to have paint flubs here or there. And even some unfinished looking figures like Classic Metal Sonic. I know it sounds pretty hypocritical given that some of the Tomy Sonic figures also lack paint details, but at least their Classic Metal Sonic looks more complete. This line has the worst in quality control. They have wrong packagings, wrong parts, and even some that even break out of the packaging. This is unacceptable, and I can't believe Sega was okay with it. Another problem with having too much articulation on a character like Sonic is that the proportions and scalings will be ruined. Tails has the worst when it comes to the proportions and scaling. He's just the same height as Sonic and his legs are too tall, just because Jazwares wanted this guy to have knee joints so badly. And it's not just Tails, some other figures have the same issues too. Oh, and Peanut Butter. Since these figures are 3 inches and have too much articulation, these things are fragile. So fragile that they can break if you're not careful, even when they're in the box. Though they have made 5-inch figures, so maybe they won't break easily.
Was when I took it over to my friend's house, I pulled it out of the bag. It was gone. I searched the bag and everything, and it was gone, so I had to get a new one, and his legs were stupid.
Oh.
And then I had to return it and get this one, and well, look, it's the last one, and it's no better. I hate this!
Look, if you like Jazwares Sonic, that's fine. I mean, it still has a place in the Sonic merchandise memorabilia. But I feel like other companies have made better Sonic toys. Tomy and Resource has made some great Sonic figures that capture the likeness of the characters a lot better than Jazwares. Let's not forget to mention how GE made some amazing plushes. And speaking of plushes, they have the worst when it comes to making plushes. They're really cheap, they look off model, and are a turn-off compared to the plushes made by Sega Prize and Tomy. They have made some good plushes, and there's a cancelled Big the Cat plush that actually looks kinda cool. I am of course a Jazwares hater. I hate almost everything about this company and their existence. And one of the reasons why I hate Jazwares is the fact that they always make toys based on the popular trends. I mean, Fortnite action figures? Really? And let's not forget about the fact that they never renew licenses due to focus on the newest trends. This is the reason why licenses such as Sonic and Minecraft were lost. And they'd rather have freaking Fortnite than better game licenses such as Sonic and Minecraft. One thing that people may agree with me on is the fact that if Jazwares ever does get the Sonic license back, it'll prevent other companies that also want to make Sonic figures or plushes. As of 2019, there are 3 companies that are making Sonic toys: Tomy, Great Eastern Entertainment, and Diamond Select. If Jazwares ever gets the license back, none of those three would have even been making Sonic toys today. I mean, not every Sonic toy has to be made by Jazwares, you know. There's no doubt that there are some toxic Jazwares fanboys that highly praise Jazwares Sonic while painting on other lines such as Tomy and Resource Sonic. Now, there's a couple of good Jazwares Sonic fans out there, and I'll respect people's opinions about liking these more than the Tomy ones. However, the fandom mostly despises Tomy Sonic, but in a really toxic way. The only things major about their hate is the articulation and the pre-assumed poses. I already talked about the articulation too many times, but never the pre-posed figures. Look, I understand the hate for pre-assumed poses, but Tomy made these figures to where they're not just in one pose. Take Modern Tales for example. Not only is he in his pre-assumed pose, but he can also be posed like he's planning on something. They're mostly common on YouTube comment sections, plus Twitter at times. I mean, this fandom has given a bunch of good Jazwares Sonic fans a bad name. These people are the reason why this video exists. To show these types of people why Jazwares will never get the Sonic license back, and that we should just move on from Jazwares for the better or worse. Well, that was brutal. I hope I didn't sour your mood or anything. Anyways, thanks for watching.